Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. My name is Anietie Bature, and today with me in the studio is my husband and co-pilot, Kingsley Bature. Yes.
Hello, and welcome to Common Sense for Relationship.
All right.
So we're on the show today, and we're going to be talking transactional love.
Yes.
Catch you up in a minute.
All right, so back to the event of the day, transactional love part 2. I'm sure some of you who have been following us, you remember transactional love part 1. And remember we had some interesting guests with us in the studio and all the banter and the debate and all of that.
Yeah, and all the people that were in that part 1, I hope you are still here today because that we had a lot of people joining us from different places, from South Africa, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Lagos, from Uyo,
Lagos
from Port Harcourt. I'm going from countries to states.
Okay.
And there's a sequence to these things. So please, even people that are watching us from Canada and from Dubai and all the places where you're watching us, we say you're welcome to the show and welcome to the part 2. Today we are talking,
and really, you mentioned Dubai, so we really have to take this time to say, kind of our hearts are with you, right? Because we know about what happened with the flood, the storm, and all of that. We're happy that is over now. So this is recovery happening for those of our people that are in Dubai. We wish you all the best and speedy recovery.
Yeah, especially our number one Dubai Middle East Victor follower. We please just let us know that you are doing well and you're okay. Yeah.
All right, so let's see who do we have with us today. Debbie, as usual, has arrived. Debbie,
all the way from South Africa. Debbie, we celebrate you again. Yes. There's somebody that is following Debbie very. Yes, that's following Dara Benny Ward is following Debbie very closely.
Close marking.
Yes, in this 2024, he wants to say, hey, Debbie, you have a challenger, number one fan, and all the other people that are online.
So as you come on, just go ahead
and please take the time.
Where you're coming from,
Take the time to share the link, share on Facebook, share on YouTube, share on LinkedIn, share on IG. Just share it, and we can jump right into the matter for the day.
All right.
Discussing expectations in transactional love.
Interesting. All right, so we are going to have a look back, right, at some of what happened last week before we start talking too much.
We start talking too much, right?
Sure.
Okay, we can look at that. And please, if you can hear us, please do the usual type 111, and we'll know that yes, we are all good to go and we're all okay. Please do that while we take a clip from last week.
Previously on Common Sense for Relationship.
But in the beginning, what you bring to the table has always been the first thing. Oh, you are intelligent. Oh, I'm street smart. Oh, you are rich. Oh, Nami Sabi hustle. I can use your money and open doors. Always something that somebody is bringing. Now we speak English, and now poverty comfort plenty past that year. Especially, we like to deny it, but when the feelings, people start speaking about feelings in this our environment. People, if you say, oh, you are too in your, even till now, they tell you are too in your emotions. My brother, clear head. You have to know what you are doing. If I'm bringing 5 cows, you are bringing 6 goats. Why don't you just love without asking for anything? Why do you want that to bring anything to the table? And why do people always stress themselves to build somebody in an image that they have seen? Oh, I want a smart lady. Oh, I want somebody that I can take out. I want, when I get to where I want to network, she should be able to speak. Now is it her business to be? Maybe she's a quiet person, but you see somebody that is an extrovert, an introvert, and say, no, you should come out of your shell so that when we go, we can talk, because conversations, now they connect people. It's not transaction. Wow.
Previously on Common Sense.
All right, so
the matter is a matter.
yeah, bottom line, somebody's giving something, somebody's
taking
getting something, and hopefully it is a mutually
Beneficial.
exchange, right? So that it's not just one person giving and then the other person is feeling used or taken advantage of.
And you know there was something she raised that people disagree with. If few people had different things to say about it, and they said that love is not transactional, right? But you used an interesting word when you said it has to be an equal, a very commensurate exchange. That exchange that you used there is still a transaction.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if we are going to look at this, but you know, we looked at the definition for transaction last week, and one of the things we talked about, or what we said, transaction is an exchange where you have, or an interaction where you have goods, services, money, and anything of value exchanged, right? You have a transaction right there. So just think about your relationships. If you just analyze what happens between me and this person, you realize that exchanges are being made, value is being exchanged, and as such you have a transactional relationship, or you have transactional love. Okay, so yes, next clip. Okay, so all right, so going back to, before we have the next clip, I'll just quickly go back to some of the other highlights from our show last week. And we talked about girlfriend allowance. I mean, that one was like, I had to ask people, have you heard of girlfriend allowance? If you have, please just do a thumbs up or something, because it felt really odd. But really, bottom line was that a number of people said that people actually get to the point where the girl is giving and giving, and at the end of the month she feels she's justified to ask for an allowance. Or in some cases she's expecting, my father used to do this for me and now you're trying to come into my life as the significant male figure, right, in my life, so you should be able to do it, right? So yes, these things are happening, but the question is, what are you giving? What are you taking? And how do you feel about what you're giving? And how does the other person feel about what you are asking for? Yes, because that's where you begin to have some kind of challenge. That's where you begin to have issues with somebody feeling like, hey, how could you even ask for this? Yeah, but the fact is, in relationships, these exchanges are happening. It's now really about what are you giving and what is the limit that you are setting. Because it has to be healthy. We talked about it being mutually beneficial. If it is such that at the end of the day, you feel like I have given too much, or I have lost too much, or like this is not a fair deal, you know, and you start hearing some of those things, it's really terrible. Last week, we talked about it in the context of relationships. But sorry, that was 2 weeks ago, in the context of just relationships before people get married, like single people, right? And we talked about boundaries and limits that you're setting. But this time around, we will even delve into the part where you are married, because someone would say, hey, when you are married, doesn't it mean that you've come to the end of even looking at what you're giving or what you're not giving, and it should just be, just give your all, just go all out, do everything, sacrifice everything, just do everything to make sure the marriage works, and so on. So we will look into the aspect of marriage. I think it's a good time to look at some of the comments that have also come in. Darabani says hello. Queen Debbie is hailing us for looking, as she says, robust.
She said I'm the one looking very robust.
Debbie, you will explain that explanation.
No, but we know why now.
Okay,
because you forced me to go to the barber and cut my hair. So all the sideburns that used to be on my face, everything has gone. So now I'm just looking like one small round boy like that. You understand? Yes, that's the reason why.
That's part of the transaction.
Brothers, see, let me talk to brothers very personally. Brothers, I'm looking at you in the eye, and I'm telling you very personally, please be careful who you marry. Yes, you have to be very careful who you marry. I'm telling you on this show, nobody can hold my mouth. what I'm going to say, please, if you don't remember anything, remember this. Be careful who you marry. Women are dangerous.
Wow.
They can make you do something you didn't plan to do. Look at my hair. Look at my, you know how tall my hair was? You can even braid it. But look at it now. Can you see? Can you see? I can even see the center.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That it's only a woman that can do that to you. And they will do it and you will still be smiling. You will smile and come back home.
We're on a journey, don't worry. The promised land where we're going is good as far as this hair is concerned.
Brothers, still
just
be careful.
Trust the process.
Be careful. Because the woman you marry can change your life for the better.
I like the end. Oh my goodness, that's so
I
funny.
have to say it for sake of national peace, my brother.
Yes, so really, guys, be careful. I'm supporting him, right? Especially for those of you who are single, you know, and are allowing some ladies to have some kind of access to you, and you are not yet sure whether they are there for your good or they are there for their good. Because there's a particular guy that a lot of us know about. His name is Samson. In the name of love, they cut his hair. And his own hair that they cut.
His head followed after.
From cutting hair to plucking out eyes to eventually he lost his life. That's not the kind of love that you're looking for. Let your love transaction not cost you your life. So please check well when you're allowing people to enter your space and you claim that your girlfriend, your significant, you know, now we have plenty English, my significant other, my this, that, and some of you are just following statistics and stuff. You have not screened to see what is this person's intent in your life.
While we are talking about intent, because we are discussing expectations, I like to say from that place where you talk about Samson and Delilah, sometimes I feel like in most relationships, the expectation that people have is higher than the state or the level of relationship where they are currently occupying. So you have people expecting only what you are supposed to get from a marriage. They're expecting it from a hangout or
example. Let me give you an example. Can you imagine how a single lady whose father has finished paying for her to do university, first degree, masters, then she now happens to fall in love. She's not yet married, but the guy is telling her that you can't work, and now that you are my girlfriend, you have to be there for me when I need you, you know. And I run my business, I'm flexible, so, and I have a lot of money, I can cover all your expenses, but I need you to be there when I need you. Do you understand? And this girl is actually considering quitting her job so that she can be there for her boyfriend. You see the expectation.
Yes, so the expectation is higher than the level of relationship they are inside.
So that's the example.
And that's example.
That's one example.
The other one is the expectations that we're also drawing from a lot of the westernization that is going on. Do you understand? So for like in this example you have expressed now, there's also the expectation that in order for me to marry, there are certain things that I will not give up or I cannot give up. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Not yet.
You are not understanding me. Okay, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. When you are looking at a relationship, what are the things that form the expectations that you have? What do you want to get out of the relationship versus what is obtainable at that level of relationship? Do you understand? So in looking at that, I'm saying a lot of times what is supposed to be obtainable at certain levels of relationship has been defined by a lot of Western influences, such that people now come into those relationships with expectations that westernization dropped on them.
So now that I understand you, let me give an example so that we can make this relatable.
Okay.
Example. Before you will you go fight, maybe meet a lady, you guys become friends, or you meet someone, you people become friends, you start to get to know each other a little better, and then it is much later that you start talking about something like expecting a peck or a kiss, right? But somebody from the West wrote a song and said, I met this girl on Monday.
Okay.
I took her for a trip on, or whatever I drink on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
By Wednesday, a lot was happening. According to him, we were making love by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and everybody was singing. Music is so powerful. Subtle programming. All of a sudden, you see everybody expecting that by day 3, something should be happening. People expecting that I take you on a date. Once I bring you back, as I'm dropping you off at your doorstep, I'm supposed to kiss you. Really?
Who told us that?
Because it has been seen in movie after movie after movie that when you come back and you drop her at the step, if she blinks 2 times or if she looks in your eyes in a certain way, it means that she wants to be kissed. And
but wait first. Let me take that in another direction, because let it not be that. Wait, who told ladies that the reward for taking you out is a kiss? Because I feel like a lot of that expectation is coming from the feminine side. Maybe because he took me out, and then probably because he paid the bills, then I should give him back something.
No, I don't even think well, that may be in some cases, but really it's just what has been pushed and what a lot of people have now seen to be the norm. So you just do you even understand what kiss is? Kiss lips are meeting. Some
liquids are passing.
Do you even know what kind of oral health this person has? You know,
they are not thinking about that.
Do you know if they've been to the dentist?
That's not no. That's not in the conversation.
Do you know if they've been brushing their mouth?
That's not in the conversation. No, usually they will do the kiss first and then find out whether the mouth they smell or not.
Find out later, right? Or maybe when you wake up the next day with some kind of strange blisters.
Okay, but on a more serious note, right? On a more serious note, the expectations that we carry into relationship, they are very. My father used to say back then. He says a lot of the problems in the world are caused by expectations and unfulfilled expectations. So what that means is that sometimes what is causing the problem is not even what the person did. Is what you are expecting that they should do that they didn't do. And at the end of the day, it becomes a problem. Meanwhile, sometimes this expectation that you have not communicated the expectation to them. For them to now say, oh, I can understand, or I can't understand, or I can deal, or I cannot deal, because we're talking transactional law. So you need to be able to communicate expectation so that the person can say, can I deal? Can I buy this transaction that you are selling to me?
I like the fact that you have brought the communication thing into this discussion. And why am I saying this? If you are on TikTok, right, and some people will be like, what, are you on TikTok? I am on TikTok, my dear. My husband calls it TikTok University.
What's your handle? Why we're on it? So that
my handle, Anietie
because
Bature.
We'll soon start broadcasting on TikTok too. Yes,
Anietie Bature. You will see the Bature. So it's
just the same at Anietie Bature.
Yes, just find Anietie Bature on TikTok. Okay.
Shout out to TikTok.
Yes, all our guys on TikTok. Hello.
She's there. I'm not there, but I still like you guys.
Anyway, so what is one of the trending, should I say, one of the things that is popular right now on TikTok as far as relationships are concerned, right? Is this post. It started with this lady who just posted her picture and then said, all the married ladies out there, please come and share anything that you feel is going to help the singles. It can be about anything, more like acting as if we're just asking for advice so that we don't enter trouble. Oh my goodness, you need to see the flood of comments. And unfortunately, you need to see, let me put it like this, unfortunately, a number of them were tales of woe. Right? In fact, I read one and I had to type back to the person and say, my heart hurts with you. And what was her own case? Because we're talking about communication, so that if I'm going somewhere. What was the issue? She got married. At some point, they decided that she was going to be a stay-at-home mom, all of that. So she abandoned her career. Her husband continued to progress and advance and was, in quotes, the one doing all the financing, taking care of bills and stuff. And then when she was, 43 years or something, one day, her husband now asked her what she has achieved in her life.
after both of them agreed for her to be a stay-at-home mom.
After what she has achieved with her life. Do you understand? And she was here feeling like, where do I start from? What do I do? How do I... If he's the one... If he who made this decision with you, in quotes, is asking you this, then what will the world ask you? What will the people who don't have your back, in quotes, what would they ask you? Do you understand? So this thing of limits, defining limits, is
defining expectations.
Yes, and then discussing the expectations.
Discussing the expectations.
And it's not just to say, oh, he says what he's expecting, and I just say, okay. As a woman, and right now I'm speaking for women, as a woman, you have to think about your future. You have to think about your life. You have to think about the quality of life that you will have and the children that you will bring into this world. Because you have to be able to care for them if anything goes wrong. So one thing that could go wrong is a divorce. And then the kids are with you. Will you be able to take care of them, or do you have to keep running back to their father to get money to put food in their mouths or to pay for school fees or stuff? Another thing that could go wrong, somebody falls really ill and cannot continue working. Another thing that could go wrong, someone dies. What do you do in that instance? In fact, another thing, that nobody's ill, nobody's dying, but your husband is just going through a rough patch. Will your family be exposed? Will your family suffer and go through a season of shame because you could not cover your husband at all? You could not even say, sweetheart, I have your back for these few months or for these few years, however long it takes for him to get back on his feet. So in this case, she gave it all up, and then the same man is asking her, what have you achieved with your life? So please, ladies, so what I'm trying to say is, think about the future when you are deciding on what your going in position is to that negotiation, to that communication. So when the man is saying, I don't want you to work, I don't want to, full stop, you have to be able to say, these are my concerns. How do we make sure that these things that I'm concerned about don't play out? If you say I shouldn't work, what do you really want? Is it just I shouldn't work? Or what exactly is the intent of your view on this matter? What can we do about it to make sure that you are okay in the future and I am also okay? Do you understand?
And I would like to talk to the ladies a little bit, right? And maybe also the guys, because I saw something that Jimoski posted. He said, why, when it comes to receiving, why is the focus always on the female gender? Well, I think it's both ways, because of the stereotype, or what we have come to know and understand women as, we say, oh, women are the ones that take in. So that's why a lot of times it just seems as if they're always the receivers, while men have to be the givers. That one day, right? But I'm trying to speak in the direction of this subject of transactional love. What we have established in part 1 is that whether you like to agree with it or not, love is actually a transaction. It's an exchange of a number of things. Now, even though a lot of times when people hear transaction, they are thinking money, but it's an exchange of a lot of things. Do you understand? It's an exchange of a lot of things. And in my head, because of what you are saying, I can hear 3 things, and in fact, interestingly, they come as ease. I can hear 3 things that you transact in any love experience. Do you understand? In any love relationship. And number 1, I hear a transaction of emotions. Now, when you if you are going to get into love, you have to invest emotions. So there's a transaction of emotions, there's a transaction of expectations, there's a transaction of experiences. So you have to decide, but from the get-go, what emotions are you investing in, right? What are you investing in this relationship? What expectations are you investing in this relationship? But because it's like the stock market, you put something in because you expect that you're going to get something out. So what expectations are you going in? You know, like this woman, when she went in, did she have her own expectations, and did they agree on and the expectations they eventually agreed on, were they her own expectations, or did she submerge her expectations? Did she sacrifice her expectations
in the name of what's happening there? Now there's also the transaction of experiences. What do you want tomorrow to look like? When you look at this relationship from the onset, what are you expecting your tomorrow to look like? She's 43. When she gets to 50, what does she want to see? Those are some things that she would have had. Those are some things that need to have happened before they get to 43, before they get that far into the relationship. So every love relationship is a transaction. So I know some spiritual people want to say, no, you have to always give, you have to always give, you have to. Even God our Father, for God so loved the world that he gave. Yes, it's a giving relationship. But what did he want to get back? He gave his only begotten son so that he can have back many sons. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's a transaction. So you are transacting different things. So what you need to ask yourself are pertinent questions. My emotions, my expectations, and my experiences. What do I want to see? Then put those down, and then now decide, this person that is coming, can this person provide these things? Can we discuss what this person has the ability to provide? Can this person work with me to achieve these things? Because sometimes it's not that the person is going to give.
Yes.
It's that the person is just creating an enabling environment for you to get those things.
In fact, speaking to the guys now, and I feel like sometimes in the present generation, people are just not nice. People are just not nice. People are just not nice to each other. Because I mean, if the wife had sacrificed herself, right, for the children or for the family, how dare you come and ask her tomorrow
what she has achieved?
Yeah. As in, it's just that good naturedness that somehow seems to be shifting. I know maybe it could have happened maybe in the press of an argument or maybe a quarrel or something. Yeah. But then it's just to strike at the person. But you cannot hit somebody below the belt.
Because you know that, see, no matter how emotionally
invested,
no matter how emotionally illiterate, should I put it that way, or unintelligent or ignorant, thank you, that person is, I think you will know that those words will hurt.
No, those words will cut deep.
You know, because this is somebody that really, if she looks back, she's going to say, what do I have? The only thing she would be able to boast of is, I have my children, my family is strong, my husband is doing well, and she will be hoping that the husband acknowledges her for creating a stable home and a stable life around him for him to continue to achieve those things. But if that husband is coming back to ask her what she has achieved,
Babi, Jimoski is on a roll today.
Okay, we want to take Jimoski.
Yes,
okay.
Jimoski is on a roll. He said nowadays relationships are running away from deep conversations. No wonder we have a lot of divorces out there, and no wonder we also have a lot of exes among the young people, the single, because people are running away from deep conversations, which are the things that are required for founding solid relationships. Yeah. Because relationships are like buildings. They are not just shanties that you just erect everywhere. They are buildings. They are structures. Yeah. Some of them span generations, some of them span a lifetime. Yeah. You need to dig deep in order to construct something that can grow. Yeah. And I was going to say something to men, and I think I say this to men in different men's group, is the fact that men, if you are going to take a lady on a journey, you must be looking at, how am I ensuring that this lady is also stepping up if I am stepping up. Because I've said it before, one of the key roles, one of the things that makes you a man, if you watch our video where we say what makes you a man, it's on this channel, on manhood, man cave, sorry. What makes you a man? One of the things we said is that what makes you a man is your ability to tend and to keep whatever is given into your hand. Yeah. To tend and to keep means to ensure that it continues to develop and improve. In fact, if that guy is asking her and say, what have you achieved? Is a question that is an indictment on him. Yeah. As a man of the house. Yeah. So if you did look at your wife after so many years of just being a housewife, because you guys agreed for her to sacrifice, and you have to ask her that question. It means that you yourself,
didn't do your job.
you're not doing your job, because you're supposed to be looking at where are the places where I can improve her. So it means that he has seen the trend that, over these things she hasn't done, but she wasn't an illiterate when you met her. So you should be the one bringing opportunities to say, hey, because the children are going to leave someday. And when the children leave and the woman cannot find what to do with herself, she's going to come back for you. So it needs to be your job as the man to preempt that, and then make sure nobody ever ask her that question. What have you done with your life? Instead, they can say, we see what you are doing with your life. That's what you can beat your chest as a man, because you can say, she's my product.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting experience that she had, painful experience, and I hope that people will take steps to protect themselves from having this kind of outcome. The fact is that, yes, motherhood is still really critical, and in some societies, if you say, I want to do career, then who will take care of your children? So sometimes it really makes sense for ladies to take time out to focus on the family. But I go right back to, who did you choose as a partner? Did you choose someone who will stand with you through those seasons and applaud you for changing diapers, for cleaning, for cooking, for taking the kids to school and picking them up and all of that? Did you pick that kind of person, or did you pick someone who would turn around and ask you what you have achieved with your life? So we have a few comments, and we'll go through those before we continue on this discourse. So Dara Benny says, some men will want you to offer them a wife responsibility at a girlfriend level, and most of them won't want to offer the responsibility of a husband at boyfriend level. Well said, Dara.
Well said. That's part of the transaction. That's part of the transaction going on there.
Esther says, wow, man, you're looking so beautiful. Woo! Thank you so much, Esther.
She's my wife. You're looking so beautiful. Yes. Brothers is my wife. She's taking.
Very funny. Okay, Jimoski says, yes, we've gone through this. And Christy, hey Christy, she says, thanks for this topic. Thank you, Christy. Dara Benny also says, some men don't have sense to that extent. They are so dumb that they will be asking their wives what they bring to the table. Dara Benny. Yeah, that was harsh.
This table that we are shaking, because it's true. When we look at transactional love, we must also be able to say that for a fact
that value has to be exchanged. And if
something has to come to the table.
If you are a reasonable person who wants to have the best outcome, you are going to be looking for somebody that their being part of your life gives you leverage rather than diminishing you.
Yes.
So it's just like when you go for maybe a physical competition and then they say, okay, the next competition is going to have something to do with speed. Immediately you start looking for the slimmest person or the tallest person, but that is slim, because you're thinking who can move fast. You will not say, because I am so benevolent or so kind or something, I'm going to look for the fattest, heaviest person in the room. No. At that time, you're looking for speed. Do you understand? So it's the same thing. When you're thinking of life, I'm going on this journey of life. By default, you'll be looking for who can add value to me, who can help me advance, who can help me move forward. Because you also know that you are going to bring something into that person's life. So what I usually say is, make it a fair deal. Make it a fair deal. And this is one of the things that I elaborated on in husband material. Make it a fair deal. I want to marry somebody who is rich. What am I doing to be a wealthy person, or to be someone who is good at managing resources, or even keeping accounts? Do you understand? I want to marry somebody who is an intelligent speaker or something, can hold his own in conversations, somebody that when he talks, people listen. What am I doing to scale up in that aspect? Am I brushing up my English? Am I brushing up how I pronounce things? Am I learning how to stand, how to comport myself and stuff like that? Do you understand? If you're looking for somebody who will be kind to your family members, friendly and stuff like that, are you learning to be kind to other people, including your future in-laws? Do you understand? Because some people just feel, hey, I want him to be. How about you? Because the person too is a human being. I mean, I used to say, even the people that are praying, God, give me, God, give me, God, give me. If you look at yourself and you're not developing yourself, I usually wonder, so do you think that when you ask for this wonderful son of God to become your husband, how fair will it be if God now decides to allow you, who have refused to polish yourself, you've refused to improve yourself, you've refused to level up in anything, but you want a correct child of God? How do you think the son will wake up one day and ask God, what did I do to you that you allowed me to marry this person?
You know, there's one scripture I usually have for that one.
Which is what?
And we like to quote it, but we only like to quote it when it favors us. You know, God is not unjust. It's a scripture. God is not unjust. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he will not carry a highly priced son and go and give to a lowly priced daughter. So you need to increase your value.
So please, guys, do better in your relationships. Improve yourselves. Try to be the best that you can be, so that you'll be able to give the most value to whoever becomes your life partner. And then after you have gotten married, try to continue to improve yourself so that you can continue to add more value to your spouse, to your children, and to other stakeholders in that marriage relationship. It's really important, so that it is indeed a fair deal. And when you say, oh, I expect this, the person doesn't say, how can you be expecting that from me when you have not even, do you understand? It should be that they say, okay, all right, I see. I'll do it for you because you've done this and that for me. I mean, there's this book I read, I can't remember the name of the book right now, that talked about when you want people to change. You know, maybe something that you really feel, I want this person to change. I want this person to stop doing this thing and stuff. Like, you shouldn't just come and tell them, stop this, stop that, and stop that. Or start this, start that, and start the other one. No, it has to be that you change one thing. You know, so it's just like me coming to ask you, my dear husband, tell me 3 things that you really wish I stopped doing or that I started doing. Do you understand? And then you now tell me, then I will now deliberately, intentionally work at one of them. Then when I finish working at that one, I will now come and say, hey, could you change this one thing for me? The guy is feeling, hey, she asked me what she needs to change. And the guy has observed you over time to see that you have actually changed that thing and he's happy about it. He will be in a better position. He will be more inclined to take your recommendation. Exactly, to reciprocate. So here, that's why I say, make it a fair deal.
Make it a fair deal.
Yeah.
Make it a fair deal. Make it a fair deal.
We have a few more comments. Emmanuel Edem says, great to, I guess, what we are saying, or some of the comments he's read. Mickey Jerry says, I'm not in any, please, I need one.
Mickey, you have to clarify.
Maybe that's not in any relationship or something.
Jerry, maybe he needs one.
Jerry, please, whatever it is that you need, just put it there. Let's know.
Put it in the comments. We can find what you need. Let's know what it is you are needing. We can attend to it. All right. Yeah.
So, do you have another angle for this? There's something I would like to.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So. There's the part where you're thinking, okay, apart from money and stuff like that, what else do we exchange in relationships? And I'd just like to touch on a few, right? One of them is personal space.
That one is the matter.
Personal space, because you know, when you're getting into a relationship, before maybe you had your house, you had the way things were set up, you had the way everything it's exactly how you want it to be, right? And then somebody comes into your life and then they can start shifting things around when they come into your space.
There's a reason why you're laughing.
Why?
Because you're shifting too many things around my space.
You know, they start shifting things around when they come. And apart from just changing how things are set up, there's just the part that there's someone there who now needs your time, who now needs your attention, somebody who says, hey, let's spend this time together. I just want to be with you. In fact, and I can imagine that sometimes guys may be wondering, what does she mean by she just wants to be with me, that we should just chill together? Like, what's that? Some people may wonder, what is that about? You know? But really, if you're getting into a relationship, then you should be ready for some of these things. But in the context of what we are discussing, you still have to check, to what extent do I give up my personal space? To what extent do I give up my free time for this relationship? To what extent do I allow, for instance, do I give up my time, right? To what extent do I give up my preferences? Do you understand? So like now, to what extent should you change your haircut because of... No, it looks...
That's a very sensitive... that's a very sensitive area right now.
Yeah, right now.
It's very.
I remember when we got married.
It's very sensitive. It's touching me.
I remember when we got married. If you ask me how to dress, I'll tell you I need to be comfortable and smart. It's very easy. It's very easy. Just,
they say it's my fault now.
If you talk about shoes, of course, you know that comfortable and smart has nothing to do with high heel.
Oh.
But I got married to my husband. And he was working in the bank that time. And you know the sisters in the bank.
Lord of the Lord.
They don't play with high heels.
Yes.
So my husband...
And skirts of a certain type.
Yes. So my husband...
And you always have a slit somewhere. I mean, come on. You have to help a brother out. Yes, I cannot finish seeing that throughout the whole day. And then come back home and you're tying wrapper. And
flat shoe.
No.
Block heel.
No.
So the guy went shopping.
Yes.
The guy went shopping. He went and bought shoe. Hey, God. The first shoe that he bought for me, that was... And he didn't even say, let's start with like 3 inches or 4 inches. Do you understand? He went straight to 6 inches. And in fact, it wasn't just this 6 was not just the heel at the back. The front had a platform. Do you understand? Then it was now this pointed toe type of thing. It was a lot of things at once that this guy wanted me to change. But you see, in the name of love, right? I tried. I had to practice at home first, of course. Wear it in the parlor, walk from one end to the other, When I succeed in not falling, I know, okay, I've done my workout for the day. After a few days to weeks of trying that, I dared to wear it outside. And I almost fell down at the gate of my office. Thank God the gate has bars, so I was able to hold on to one. So that particular shoe, I took it back home. And I told my husband that this is what happened. I almost fell in front of the office. I almost fell at 4 points. 4 points by Sheraton.
Baby, what's the point? What's the point?
The point is that I sacrificed a lot. So it's not just your haircut.
So it's not so you're trying to say
So I'm talking about, this is part of what you give up. This is part of the transaction. This is part of the trade. When you are giving up your preferences. Because my preference is flat. My preference is low heel. But in the name of love, I had to step up a bit. We kind of settled on 4 inches thereabout now. But it's part of it. So it's the same thing with everybody out there. Really, the question is, while you are giving, what is the limit? If it's not working for you, then have that conversation. So if 6 inches and that particular type of shoe was not working, we had a conversation. What was the conversation? I will wear this when you're taking me out for dinner. You hold my hand. I walk to the car. I sit down. When we get to the location, you hold my hand till we get to the seat, and so on. That's how we did with that particular shoe. But I've improved over time.
So really, to cycle back to something we said at the beginning of the show, when it comes to exchanging values and experiences and emotions and all the things that you will exchange in a relationship, it comes back to what is the level of the relationship that is requiring or demanding that particular exchange. Just the same way that you will not go and there are certain things you will not buy for an acquaintance. There are certain things you will not buy for a colleague. There are certain things you will only buy for a wife. There are certain things that some people, because of misguided values or misappropriated values, there are some things that some people will only buy for a side chick. They won't buy it for the wife, but they'll buy it for the side chick. But the point is, the thing you are willing to exchange has to match the level of the relationship.
Yeah.
But what is the inherent value of the person going into the relationship? The person you are going in with, who are they? What's their value? What's their set of values? What do they have that you really need, for which you want to go into transaction with them?
Interesting. Okay, so we have a few more comments that have come in. Dara Benny says, and also while giving, it is best to respect boundaries. Yes, boundaries are really important. Thanks, Dara Benny. She also says, because some people will keep it. We'll take it as an opportunity to extort you, regardless of gender.
And you know it's interesting that she's saying that, because it goes to both every level of relationship. I don't know why I keep coming back to that, because when we're doing transaction, every level you have to value it. Because if you look at business, there are some people you will not go into business with. Certain levels of business. Before you go into before you go into business with somebody at a certain price band, you would have done some checks. You would have checked some things out. You would have checked. Do you understand? You would have looked at their profile. You would have looked at their track record.
With background checks.
With background checks, security checks, before you go into a certain level of business with them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So all of those are the things that make me say that you have to check the level of the relationship. So let me bring it down to let me talk a little bit about marriage. Now, there's a misguided theology that just because two people are married, they have to share everything. I call it misguided, because when two people are married, even though both of them have agreed to become as one, they are still unique individuals in the marriage. And because they are unique individuals, the law of marriage does not say that I have to become you in order for both of us to be one.
Example, there are certain contracts that I have with other entities, that you have with other entities, that you cannot come and act as me in that contract.
Yes.
A simple one is employment. I'm working somewhere. I'm working for a particular company. The agreement is between me and the company. You can't show up and say I'm married to her. We are one. Therefore,
all of a sudden, I
give me her salary, or I am coming to the office to resume. Or I want access to all her files or something. No, exactly. You just can't do that.
So as in a relationship, every couple needs to understand that, hey, your individuality still exists, right? And because your individuality still exists, there are certain things that the other person must respect. So, like the example you gave about space, for some of us, my personal space is actually critical to my well-being. Why? Because I live a lot of times in my head. So sometimes you can just come into my personal space and you are trying to be all lovey-dovey, and at that particular point I'm not there. And then you now say, because I am married, you must give me the time now. You must leave that your personal. Do you understand? But those are things that people need to understand. That's not what the law of marriage says. Do you understand? Both of us must come together, have an agreement to say, I need TLC, or I need to be in your space. I need to spend time with you. But what is the limit around which we can spend time together, but still allows me to have my time alone?
More like finding when it works for you.
Where does it work?
Example, I can't come and be trying to get your attention when you're watching Arsenal match.
Especially when Arsenal is losing. I beg everybody, guys, we know Arsenal is playing. Please, somebody should just type what's the score. I don't know. I can't see. I'm not watching the match. So what's the live score? Arsenal. Let's see.
Do you understand?
Are we winning?
So you understand? You have to understand that there are those you know,
Can't be come and be doing when we are watching Arsenal match.
It's football time, so just leave him, let him watch his match and enjoy it. If you can, sit with him and cheer, you know. If you can't, go and occupy yourself otherwise, and let the guy enjoy his time with his game or whatever his passion is, right? And then you will have your own time together later on. It's just about care and concern. Or maybe when I feel like watching romantic comedy and then my husband says he doesn't like romantic comedy, but sometimes in the name of being nice, he'll come and sit with me and then he'll just be running commentary, and other times it's just like, Oga, I beg, carry your commentary and go allow me to enjoy this movie. What is it? You know, you're not asking me, so she really did that. Then if my son joins, he'll be trying to predict the end for me. People should just leave. You watch this thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So everybody needs to understand that relationships are like that.
Yeah.
There's no hard and fast rule that makes it that just tries to, what's the word, legalize it, right? Just that tries to legalize it. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah.
So Fred Uti is McFred is giving us what's that? Some thumbs up or
100,
applause or something.
100,
oh, thank you very much. Yes, 100. I see it well. Hey, McFred, thank you so much for that. And then Adeomi, hey, P.
Hey, Uncle
Hi.
Peace. Been a while and a half.
Yes. Peace says, glad to be with the great family. Yes, we're so happy that you're with us on the show today. Thanks, Peace.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, so McFred also says, over the years, I've noticed that guys, when they want a lady, they just focus on getting the girl by buying gifts.
The guy no get skills. No get skills. Some bosses know they use gifts.
They do whatever necessary or whatever is necessary to get the girl, not minding if the lady also loves them back. So when the whole thing becomes compromised, they come up with words like
women are the same. And then women come up with the words like all men are scum.
How can we get over these things? Okay, so my friend, last week we talked, this is one of the things we talked about, which is really you define what is a limit for you. Define what up to this point I can do, and if this relationship doesn't work out, I'm okay. You know, let's say you have $1 million. You say, okay, up to $100,000 I am okay to spend on this relationship, do all the stuff, make her happy, take her to expensive restaurants, assuming right? And after $100,000 I'm not going beyond that point, right? And you keep to that limit, so that if she wakes up tomorrow and is like, you know what, your mates are buying people Lamborghinis and doing I need more, or I'm out. You know, if she decides to walk away, you say, well, I lost 100,000, but it's not a big deal. It was fun while it lasted. And you move on, you're okay. So that's what we're talking about last week. It puts the limits. You define the limits. How much time can I spend that is okay? You know, for instance, a lady, you say, okay, I can spend this much time with you, but not the time that I'm supposed to spend preparing for my serious presentation to management tomorrow. But because you say, I just want to spend some time with you, I will not now prepare for that presentation that may land you a promotion or risk your career.
It's important to you. It's important to you.
You now go and spend time because he said he wants to see you. You will not now prepare. You now go the next day and you just do rubbish. And everybody's looking at you like, who is this one? Does she even know her job? Please. Do you understand? So really define. Am I going to give so much that I begin to lose? Am I going to give so much that I begin to risk certain things that are important to me? You get? So, yeah. Protect yourself, define the boundaries. That's what we
define the boundaries
last week. So if you missed last week, please go back and watch.
They've actually posted the link for last week's video, Transactional of 1, and it's also in the comment section at the end of this live stream. You can get it there. There's just something. Timora and a group of people are starting a common sense for relationship fan base. And they said we should announce it on the show so that all of those odd people that want to join that fan base to discuss things, that they are encouraged by what we are doing and want to participate in pushing the program wherever they are, and in the places where they are, and all of that. It's just a group of young people that will be doing things together. They said we should post the link, so please let the link be posted on the group. And if you want to be part of that, we'll also put the link in the comment. If you want to be part of that fan base, please click that link and we'll welcome you to the family.
Fantastic. That's really great. I'm excited about that one. And I see Peace also left an additional comment. He said, I just joined the show. I believe we are talking about the balance in career. So we're talking about transactional love, Peace, and I'm sure you'll go back and watch the rest of the video. Yes, he says this should be taught before getting into marriage. Very serious.
Yes.
Very, you're so on point. It is a plus for you to be prepared for the achievements of each person, yes, and to be able to celebrate when they are achieving those things, rather than to beef them and try to put a clog in their will. Okay, and define the boundaries. Yes, right, spot on, Debbie. Okay, so yes, so the links are up for the community. The link is also up for Transactional Love Part 1. So if you weren't part of that show, please go ahead and watch. And then please share these links to other people. If you've gotten value, don't forget to give us a like. And if you have not yet subscribed, let me ask you, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know? Yes, so what are you waiting for? Let me talk like my brothers from...
You still got it, you still got the juice.
It cannot leave my system.
Still got the juice.
Yeah, so I think that's about it for today's show. It has been fun doing the show once again with my darling husband. Yep.
The darling husband that you forced to go and cut his hair. You can see the transaction of this love. Yes. You'll be paying this hair. You'll be paying for it until it grows back.
They've heard. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, people. So till we see you next time on Common Sense for Relationship.
Debbie.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie and Darabeni. Remember,
and everyone else,
common sense is not so common.
Bye. Bye. Oh boy, what a day.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.